Have you ever, in the quiet of the afternoon, found yourself just standing in front of the mirror, really looking at the woman staring back at you, the one who's traveled halfway through life's journey? And a quiet question just bubbles up from somewhere deep inside. Is it time to let go of my long hair? That question, it doesn't just come out of nowhere, does it? It feels like a pre-programmed whisper, an echo from a place you can't quite name. From society, from the people around us, and sometimes from that critical voice inside our own heads. Because somewhere along the way, we all got the memo on the unwritten rules. The rule that says, once a woman reaches a certain age, short hair is the quote-unquote right choice. It's neater, it's more age-appropriate, and above all, it's safe. But why? Who wrote that rule book? Who gets to put our beauty in a box defined by a number? And what if that rule we've all been quietly following isn't a beauty secret at all, but an outdated stereotype? An invisible cage that's been silently robbing us of our choice and our confidence? This is the silent conflict that so many women feel. The pull between fitting in and following the script versus the deep, soulful desire to be our true, authentic selves, to define beauty on our own terms. In our conversation today, we're not just talking about hair. We are going on a journey together to expose the real story behind this myth. We are going to reclaim a powerful truth, that the beauty of our hair has nothing to do with its length and everything to do with its life, its story, and its connection to our soul. And more importantly, we're going to discover that choosing to keep your long hair at this age isn't just a style decision. It's a powerful declaration of freedom, of self-worth, and of your right to live a full, vibrant, and beautiful life, completely unbound by any number. Stick with me, because what we're about to uncover might just change the way you see yourself forever. All right, let's talk. Let's sit down and talk about an unwritten rule. A rule that's not in any book, but one that so many of us seem to understand implicitly. I'm talking about the rule book for our hair. Have you ever seen a woman of a certain age with beautiful, long hair and had a tiny voice in the back of your head say, "Wow, she's still wearing her hair long at her age"? If you have, don't be so hard on yourself. That voice isn't entirely yours. It's an echo from a bygone era, the ghost of outdated ideas that have been programmed into our society for decades. And if we want to be truly free in our choices, we first have to understand the invisible enemy we're up against. So let's decode this so-called short hair rule, shall we? Every rule has an origin story, and the rule that older women should cut their hair short is no exception. It wasn't born from some timeless beauty secret. It was shaped by the currents of history and culture. In the West, let's rewind to the 1950s and 60s. This was the post-war era, a time that glorified the image of the perfect homemaker, competent, practical, and above all, proper. Fashion magazines back then, like Vogue or Harper's Bazaar, pushed neat, tidy hairstyles like the poodle cut or perfectly coiffed bobs. The beauty of a mature woman wasn't about being free-spirited or romantic. It was about looking respectable and dependable. Long hair, which had always been a symbol of rebellious youth, freedom, and even sexuality, was suddenly deemed inappropriate for a settled woman. The unspoken motto of the time was, practicality over vanity. Now, that was then. But the story gets even more complex, because those old ideas found new ways to survive, even as women entered the workforce in droves. Becoming doctors, CEOs, and leaders, the short haircut took on a new meaning. It became a symbol of being modern, powerful, and liberated. It was efficient, it was strong, and slowly, an invisible line was drawn in the sand. Long hair was for the young and carefree, and short hair was for the mature, experienced, and busy woman. I remember it myself, so vividly. The day I turned 40, my own mother, a classic baby boomer, gently said to me, "Honey, don't you think it's time for a more sensible haircut? Something more professional, more age-appropriate? Sound familiar?" She didn't mean any harm. Her words were simply a reflection of a mindset that an entire generation was raised on. A belief that at a certain age, women must trade in their softer, flowing femininity for an image of dignity. Now, understanding the history is one thing, but the next part is where it gets really insidious. It's when those ghosts of the past become the psychological pressure of the present. Let's be honest with ourselves for a moment. Have you ever wanted to try a bold new dress, a bright lipstick, or simply grow your hair out again, but stopped yourself because you were afraid of the whispers? Afraid of hearing things like, "She's trying too hard," or the classic, "Mutton dressed as lamb." That, right there, is the immense power of societal expectation. It's like an invisible cage. We can't see the bars, but we feel them, and we become afraid to step outside. Social science research has uncovered a sad truth. Women face a brutal double standard when it comes to aging. A man with salt and pepper hair is seen as distinguished and handsome. But a woman with a few gray hairs is often seen as letting herself go. According to a global study by Dove, a staggering 7 out of 10 women feel pressure to live up to unrealistic beauty standards. And that pressure multiplies exponentially as we age. And so, many of us have taken the safe route. We chop off the long hair we love, not because we truly want to, but to fit neatly inside the age-appropriate box society built for us. This is a silent sacrifice. We sacrifice a piece of ourselves, a piece of our story, a piece of our identity, just for a little peace and quiet from the court of public opinion. But what's the real cost? It's that pang of regret when we look at old photos. It's that feeling of disconnection when we look in the mirror. It's the slow fading of the vibrant, spirited girl who still lives inside every single one of us. So, we've peeled back the layers of this unwritten rule. We've seen that it's built from the dust of history and held together by the mortar of fear. It has no real basis in science or in the art of beauty. But I know that understanding the why isn't always enough to set us free. Because there's still one major, practical question that's probably nagging at you. From a style perspective, does long hair actually betray us? Does it really make us look older and more tired, like they all say it does? In the next part, as a beauty expert, we are going to find the definitive answer to that question. Get ready to shatter the biggest myth in beauty and aging. Alright, so we've pulled back the curtain on this unwritten rule. We've seen that it was built from the dust of history and held together by fear, not by any real science or solid beauty advice. But I get it. Knowing the history isn't always enough to make you feel confident. Because right now, there's probably still one big, practical question hanging in the air. From a pure style perspective, does long hair actually betray us? Does it really make us look older and more tired, like they all say it does? Today, as someone who has been in the beauty industry for years, and as a woman who has asked herself these exact same questions, I am here to tell you one thing with total certainty. That idea is completely and utterly wrong. It's never been about the length. It's always been about the love you put into it. The myth that long hair ages us comes from a very lazy, incomplete picture. When people think of long hair on an older woman, they often imagine hair that's been neglected. Hair that's just hanging there, lifeless, with dry ends and dull color. And of course, hair like that, whether it's long or short, is going to add years to anyone. But is that your only option? Absolutely not. Let's just imagine this for a second. Picture two women, both in their 60s. The first woman has hair down to her waist, but it's stringy, it's brittle, and the ends are so split it looks like an old broom. Her hair is simply weighing her down. There's no life to it. Now, the second woman, her hair is only a little past her shoulders, but it's been cut into soft, beautiful layers that frame her face. Every strand is lustrous and shiny, with a warm chestnut color and a gentle wave at the ends. Her hair has energy. It has movement. What's the difference here? You see it, don't you? It isn't the length. It's the intention. It's the care. It's the love that you pour into it. Long hair that is invested in, trimmed regularly, and deeply conditioned will always look more beautiful than short hair that's been forgotten. The legendary hairstylist Sam McKnight, the man who crafted Princess Diana's iconic look, once said it perfectly. It's not about age. It's about the condition and the cut. Long, healthy hair can be incredibly chic and youthful on anyone. The key is movement and shine. I have a dear friend who's had long hair for over 20 years. When she turned 55, she called me up, sounding defeated, and said, "I think I have to cut it all off. My hair just looks so fried. It's making me look old." And I told her, "Hold on. The problem isn't that you need to cut your hair. The problem is that you need to bring it back to life." I convinced her to invest in a great deep conditioner, get a gloss treatment at the salon, and most importantly, get a new cut. Not shorter, just better. She had her stylist trim off the dead ends and add a few soft, face-framing layers. The result was magical. Her long hair looked more beautiful and youthful than it had in a decade. When it's treated right, long hair doesn't just stop aging you. It becomes your ally, your secret style weapon. First of all, it's the perfect frame for your face. As we get older, our faces change. Our jawline might get a little sharper or soften up. A super short pixie or a blunt bob can sometimes put a harsh spotlight on those exact things. But long hair has the unique ability to soften everything. Those long, sweeping layers can gracefully camouflage a changing jawline. Soft, wispy bangs can be a chic and subtle way to age, drawing all the attention right to your eyes. And gentle waves create balance, making the face appear more lifted and slender. Second, it gives you endless versatility and the power to transform. This is something no short haircut can truly compete with. You know, it's true. Long hair gives you the freedom to be whoever you want to be on any given day. On Monday morning, you can be the powerful CEO with your hair pulled back into a sleek, elegant ponytail that shows off your intelligent eyes and your strong bone structure. On Saturday night, you could be the romantic, alluring woman on a date with your hair in soft, tumbling waves over your shoulders. And on Sunday morning, you could be the carefree, relaxed woman at the farmer's market with a playful side braid or a low, chic bun. Long hair doesn't put you in a box. It sets you free. Every single day, you get to choose which version of you to show the world. And isn't that a beautiful kind of freedom? So, it's pretty clear, isn't it? From a style perspective, long hair isn't the enemy. It's a powerful ally, helping us not only hide our perceived flaws, but also elevate our entire look in a magical way. It's living proof that glamour has no age limit. But, beyond all these benefits that we can see on the outside, there is a much deeper reason. A reason that comes from the heart, that explains why so many of us have such a powerful, unbreakable bond with our long hair. And that's no longer a conversation about style. That's a conversation about our soul, our memories, and our identity. Let's explore that incredibly emotional connection in the next part. All right, so it's pretty clear, isn't it? From a style perspective, long hair isn't the enemy. It's a powerful ally, helping us not only hide our perceived flaws, but also elevate our entire look in a magical way. It's living proof that glamour has no age limit. But, beyond all these benefits that we can see on the outside, there is a much deeper reason. A reason that comes from the heart, that explains why so many of us have such a powerful, unbreakable bond with our long hair. And that's no longer a conversation about style. That's a conversation about our soul, our memories, and our identity. Your hair isn't just some lifeless thing. It's a part of you. It grew with you. And most importantly, it has seen everything. Just close your eyes for a moment and come back in time with me. Remember being a teenager, that first crush, your long hair pulled back in a simple ponytail, or flying free in the wind. Remember your wedding day, your hair carefully pinned up, maybe with a flower tucked into it. Remember the day you held your first child in your arms, the feeling of their tiny hand getting tangled in a strand of your hair. Think about all the years you worked, and all the times you pushed your hair back from your face in exhaustion and determination. Your hair was there for all of it, wasn't it? It's like a living diary, where every inch marks another chapter. It holds the memory of sunshine, the feeling of the wind, and maybe even a few quiet tears. I can still feel my daughter's little hands when she was just a girl, sitting behind me, clumsily trying to braid my hair. That messy, lopsided braid meant more to me than any high-fashion style, because it was woven with pure, unconditional love. So when someone tells us, "You're at that age, you should cut your hair," they don't understand. They don't understand that for so many of us, it's not just a haircut. It feels like tearing a chapter out of your own life story. It's a goodbye and letting go of the past versions of ourselves that we still cherish. The great American poet and activist, Maya Angelou, said it best, "A woman's hair is her glory." And that glory isn't just about beauty. It's about her entire story, her entire journey. And perhaps this is the most powerful reason of all. At this stage of life, keeping or growing your hair long stops being just a style choice. It becomes a symbolic act. It's a declaration that says, "I am not afraid of my age. I get to define my own beauty." In a society that often expects older women to fade into the background, to become quieter, smaller, and less noticeable, long Flowing hair is a statement to the contrary. It takes up space. It catches the light. It says to the world, I am still here. I am still vibrant. And I have no intention of becoming invisible. It's a powerful rebellion against what's known as the invisible woman syndrome, which so many women in their middle years begin to feel. Instead of shrinking, we choose to shine. That single choice tells so many inspiring stories. It's the story of the female executive who finally lets her hair down, literally, after a lifetime in the boardroom, as a way to reclaim the softer, more feminine side of herself. It's the story of the artist who wears her long, silver hair like a crown, celebrating every gray strand as a brushstroke of time and a mark of authenticity. And it's the story of the women who find love again, who rediscover their zest for life at 60 or 70, starting with the simple decision to grow their hair long again as an act of radical self-love. They are not trying to look 20 again. They are celebrating the magnificent people they are at 50, 60, and 70. And their long hair is their crown, a crown made of confidence, self-respect, and a lifetime of wisdom. So, after everything we've walked through together, from debunking the historical myths, to affirming the power of style, to listening to the whispers of our own hearts, we see that our hair is so much more than a hairstyle. It's our legacy, our declaration, a part of our very soul. So what's the last question that remains? What should we do with all of this truth? It's time to bring it all together and find the most important answer for ourselves. So, here we are, at the end of our journey together. A journey that was never just about hair, but about rediscovering ourselves. We've pulled back the curtain on the past, and we've seen that the old rulebook about short hair is just an outdated social opinion. A faint echo that no longer has a place in the lives of modern women. We've learned a simple but powerful truth, that true beauty isn't measured in inches, but in the vibrancy of your hair, and the perfect harmony between the woman on the outside and the soul on the inside. And maybe most importantly, we've felt in our hearts that our hair is so much more than just hair. It's a part of our identity, a living diary that holds every single chapter of our lives. So the real question, the one that truly matters when you stand in front of that mirror, it isn't, should I have long hair or short hair at my age? The real question is, which hairstyle, which version of me, feels the most authentic, the most confident, and the most joyful? Because let me tell you something, ladies, our beauty doesn't have an expiration date. It's not like a flower that blooms and then fades. It's more like a fine wine. It gets richer, deeper, and more potent with every passing year. Our beauty doesn't fade. It settles. It deepens into something far more interesting. Your hair is your story, and you are the only one who gets to write it. So tell that story however you want to tell it, whether it's with long hair that flows in the wind, a bold and daring pixie cut, or a crown of glorious silver that shines with the wisdom of time. It is all beautiful, as long as it makes your heart sing. So the next time you hear that judgment from the outside, or that whisper of fear from within, just take a deep breath and listen to your own voice, the one that knows exactly what makes you happy. Treat the act of caring for yourself, from your hair to your soul, as an act of love, a way to honor the incredible journey that got you here. Be brave, be beautiful, and above all, always be you. So, we've done the deep work today. We've uncovered the powerful truth that our hair is a silent, beautiful statement about who we are. But listen, having the right mindset is just the foundation. To truly shine, you have to put that mindset into action. And that is exactly why I need to tell you this. If you are truly serious about building a confident, captivating, and timeless personal style, then my very next video on the #1 style mistake after 60 and the 5 colors that make you look radiant is the essential next piece of the puzzle that you absolutely cannot afford to miss. And I need to be perfectly honest about something. This channel is not for everyone. It is not for those looking for quick, superficial beauty hacks. It is not for those who believe that beauty has an expiration date. And it is not for those who aren't willing to truly invest the time and energy in themselves. This channel is for smart, discerning women. It is for women who understand that style is a language that expresses the incredible person you are on the inside. And it is a space for women who are ready to build a community where we celebrate the power and elegance of getting older. So, if that's not you, please do not subscribe. But if you saw a reflection of yourself in what I just described, then you know what to do. Hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell, because our journey is just getting started. I'll see you in the next video.